Witches and vampires are eternal enemies, but the witch Anna and the vampire Matthew have gone against the laws of nature. Anna and Matthew defied the prohibitions of their two families to fall in love. At this time, Anna and Matthew are being hunted by both families. Anna decides to use her superpower of space and time to escape. Satu uses magic to detect traces of magic left in the room. Of course, Peter and Gerbert are also there. But Anna and Matthew suddenly disappear into thin air. Gerbert smells the scent left on Anna's clothes and discovers that Anna was wearing the same clothes just a moment ago. If Anna wanted to escape quickly, why would she need to change her clothes? Gerbert immediately thinks that it's very likely that Anna and Matthew are going somewhere where modern clothes are not suitable. Anna is a time traveler with limitless power. If Anna wants to escape, it would be perfect to hide at a certain point in the past. London in 1950. A group of wizards are lighting a campfire. The most powerful wizard in England is Goody. Goody suddenly has a premonition that a powerful wizard will come here tonight. Anna and Matthew suddenly appear on the streets of London. The two have actually completed time travel. After confirming the location, Matthew takes Anna home. Matthew is very familiar with this place because this is his home in London. While Matthew goes upstairs to check if anyone is home, Anna curiously looks at the interior of the first floor. Suddenly, a young man walks out of the room and asks who Anna is. It turns out to be Lick, a gay friend of Matthew's since 1590. The maid at home is Franca, and the servant Bishop also runs out. Lick is very surprised to see a wizard in the house. When Matthew called Anna his wife, Lick could not accept it. Lick even thought that Anna had cast a spell on Matthew to confuse his mind. Returning to the room, Matthew was curious why the intersection was 60 miles away, but Anna did not care about that. Matthew then recruited two human friends to help find the Asmo manuscript 782, and at the same time find a magic teacher for Anna. Henry Posey was Count Nathan Helen, and the other was Walter Raleigh. Returning to the 16th century, it was necessary to be himself more than 400 years ago, so Matthew needed to move around to remember what he had done during this time. Anna was the only one at home at night. When Anna was about to fall asleep, she suddenly felt something. Anna saw a witch walk through the door. Anna immediately walked out of the house and followed her. When the witch turned around, she looked very much like Sophie. Returning, Anna told Matthew about this. Anna thought that the witch must be Sophie's ancestor. It was very likely that Sophie's ancestor would become Anna's magic teacher. But Matthew was angry that Anna had left the house alone. Matthew thought it would be dangerous. Of course, Anna did not want to be under house arrest like that. After one night, Matthew also found a way, which was to give Anna a title as a marriage historian. Matthew promised to send someone to find Sophie's ancestor to be Anna's magic teacher. Today, Matthew would take Anna to see what London was like in the 16th century. Anna happily wore new clothes and walked around the streets of 1590 London with Matthew. But happy times were always short-lived. Matthew discovered that White House Secretary Bockham had discovered him. Bockham immediately reported the sighting of Matthew to the Exciter's Chancellor, William. In 1590, William was Matthew's superior. All Matthew remembered was that Matthew should not have been in London at this time. Matthew knew that he had to find a magic teacher for Anna as soon as possible to leave this era quickly, otherwise things would become more and more chaotic. Then Matthew went to see a subordinate. According to the subordinate, Matthew should have been in Berwick, Scotland during this time. After learning the situation, Matthew took the initiative to see William. Matthew said that he had finished his work in Berwick. There was chaos at the highest level of Scotland, causing the witches to be divided, and the witches were at risk of rebelling against the Scottish king. In order to avoid trouble, Matthew returned as soon as possible. Anna was alone at home with nothing to do, so she started adventure mode in this strange house. Anna found a secret room. Judging from the cross found, it could be concluded that Matthew was considered a god during this period. But the Battle of Brazil had just ended 2 years ago. Matthew defeated the Spanish Armada and stopped the invasion of foreign Catholic forces, basically eliminated the Catholic threat. Matthew was in London and was a Catholic, so this was definitely equivalent to treason. It turned out that Matthew was now a spy sent by his father to high-ranking officials in England. It was not surprising that Anna discovered these things. It was just that Matthew did not want to mention them. At the same time, Matthew's men found out that Sophie's ancestor was Susanna. Because of being forced, Susanna did not take Anna's magic test seriously. After Matthew threatened again, and Anna's constant begging, Susanna had to do the second test for Anna. Anna needed to use magic to light a candle and stop the bronze bell floating in the air from ringing, but Anna tried many times but failed to light it. This made Susanna lose patience and leave soon, but Anna insisted on trying again. The candle did not burn, but the fruit on the side quickly spoiled, which scared Susanna. Even though Anna tried to hold on to Susanna, Susanna refused to stay. When Anna ran after her, Susanna had already disappeared. Anna knew that Susanna was very worried about the identity of witches like her, because in Scotland, Susanna and such witches were being hunted. Suddenly, a boy living on the street ran over and wanted to steal Anna's wallet. Although Anna found out, she did not cause any trouble for the boy. She even took him home. The boy Jack was an orphan. Because he often lived on the street, Jack knew everything that happened on the streets of London, big or small. From the information told by Jack and the joint analysis office of Matthew's two friends. Anna and Matthew knew that the person who spread the news about Anna was Lick. Because of jealousy and distrust of Anna, Lick is slandering Anna everywhere. Of course, this makes Matthew angry. However, Anna stops Matthew and suggests that Matthew let Lick go. Having no choice, Anna has to tell Lick that Anna and Matthew are people from the future. That night, a servant brings a message about the small prophet of the new mission. After that, Matthew arrived at a strange prison and begins to brutally interrogate a prisoner, the side of the Seven Tower Castle in the modern world. Sarah and Emily are worried that Madison's council will tell Peter about their hiding in the Seven Tower Castle. But what Sarah and Emily are more worried about is whether Anna and Matthew are okay. Isabeau is also worried about the presence of two witches in the castle. The witches that Isabeau saw earlier almost couldn't escape death, but these two witches were different. Isabeau had to make them feel welcome for Matthew's sake. Satu had returned to Finland. Satu went to the sparkling lake to find the old witch who had raised her. Satu was an orphan. Her parents and family members had died long ago. Although the old witch had raised Satu, she had never told Satu who she was. In London in 1590, Anna was still worried about finding a teacher to teach her magic. After what had happened to Susanna the last time, Anna said she hoped to find someone who would be more willing to help her, instead of bribing or forcing them. But that would be difficult because the fresh fruit had rotted in an instant in previous. Susanna must have told the story to someone else. Then Matthew thought of a friend who was proficient in alchemy, Mary Sidney. Anna was of course very familiar with this famous alchemist in history, but Mary Sidney did not know any magicians, so Anna with Mary Sidney only became friend. At this time, the Queen of England was worried that the magicians would rebel against her rule. Moreover, there was bad news that a wizard was accused of using magic to kill people. This wizard named Thomas Canwell was threatening the crown, so William wanted Matthew to interrogate Thomas Canwell. Although Matthew did not want to accept this mission, William still insisted on letting Matthew go. On the way home, Matthew encountered a subordinate of a vampire named Harvard. Harvard was the vampire who ruled London, equivalent to an underworld boss in this city. In fact, Matthew's father, Philip, had made a treaty with Harvard. That was, the two sides could not invade each other's territory. But Anna was not yet a member of Philip's family, so Anna was not included in this treaty. That evening, Matthew took Anna to see Harvard. As soon as he saw Anna, Harvard wanted to taste Anna's blood. Fortunately, Matthew stopped him in time. Although Harvard did not taste Anna's blood, Harvard saw two marks left by Matthew on Anna's neck. So there was a connection between Anna and Matthew. This was also a serious crime in 1590. If the wizards discovered a vampire sucking blood without consent, the vampire would be executed. If Anna willingly gave blood, Anna would be banished from England. Anna took the initiative to say that she voluntarily let Matthew suck her blood to save Matthew, who was on the verge of death. Thanks to that, Harvard realized Anna's kindness, so he stopped making things difficult for Anna. On the street, Anna met Susanna again. At Anna's sincere request, Susanna agreed to give Anna another magic test. Susanna took out an egg and let Anna use magic to place it on a plate next to her. As soon as Anna used magic, the egg on the table swayed in the air, but Anna could not move it to fall onto the plate. When Susanna walked to the table and sat down, a chick hatched out of the shell. So Susanna suggested that Anna go talk to Goody, the most powerful wizard in England. The next day, Susanna took Anna to see Goody. After discovering the magic inside Anna's body, Goody said that there had been signs of Anna's appearance for a long time. There were only 3 great wizards left. Anna was a magic weaver who could create spells. The reason Anna could not learn other people's spells was because Anna had to create the spell herself. Hearing this, Matthew also told the legends he had heard. The legends said that some wizards had amazing abilities. Although Matthew had lived a long time, he had never met such a wizard. Goody said that they were a rare race, but because they were being hunted, they were forced to hide. At this time, Goody was also sure that Anna's father was also a magic weaver. Anna's father was very special because very few male wizards could do so. Goody could feel the last traces of Anna's father's spell on Anna. Anna was a witch, so Goody was of course willing to teach Anna magic. But first, there had to be the agreement of the coven, which was to be recognized by the witches. Because of Matthew, the witches did not want to take Anna in. Moreover, Matthew was still interrogating a witch. But Goody believed that the dark ages of witches were coming. There was a prophecy that a witch would come to change the fate of witches, and that person was Anna. Anna also confessed that she was a time traveler. Anna also saw with her own eyes the Book of Life, called Asmal 782. The witches called it the first book of magic. So Anna joined the coven in London without any trial. On this side, Harvard found Matthew and wanted Matthew to release the witch Thomas, who was being interrogated. Apparently, Thomas was also one of Harvard's adoptees, but the Queen decided to interrogate Thomas. If Thomas were to go, Matthew would not know how to explain to the Queen. This made Matthew very awkward, so he did not dare to promise Harvard. Matthew was really confused about what to do, so Lick suggested that he ask Philip for help. But Matthew immediately refused because he was afraid that Philip would discover Anna's identity. That would only make things worse. In the end, Matthew personally killed Thomas to completely solve this problem. But Harvard, in revenge, sent a message to Philip in France to report about Matthew and Anna. William was also very angry that Matthew had killed a prisoner. Although Matthew explained that it was because Thomas refused to cooperate, it was clear that William still did not want to let Matthew go. Returning home, Matthew knelt at the foot of the Catholic cross to repent. In order to appease Harvard's anger, Matthew took the initiative to go to find Harvard to apologize. Of course, Harvard was furious because Harvard knew that Matthew was the one who killed Thomas, because normal people could not break someone's neck so cleanly. Matthew did not deny this. Matthew said that it was because William thought Thomas was guilty, and Matthew just did not want Thomas to suffer any more pain. Mary Sidney learned that Anna was looking for an ancient book, so Mary Sidney suggested that Anna try her luck with the Queen's astrologer. Following this suggestion, Matthew and Anna found astrologer John Dee. According to the description of astrologer John Dee, Matthew and Anna were able to confirm that John Dee really owned the Asmal manuscript, 782. But when John Dee was traveling, the book was secretly exchanged by an astrologer named Edward Kelly. Edward Kelly was still in Bohemia. Anna and Matthew had to offer to help John Dee exchange the book from Edward Kelly. At the same time, Anna did not let Jack live on the streets anymore. Instead, Anna adopted Jack. That night, Anna was awakened by Jack's screams. It turns out Jack had a nightmare. Anna saw Matthew comforting Jack like a father, which surprised Anna. The next day, the two went to find Goody and began Anna's first magic class. Goody was not the only witch teaching Anna. Besides Goody, there were 3 other witches. 4 witches would stand outside the magic circle surrounding Anna. Goody was the wind witch who cast the first spell. Immediately after, a wind-carrying mist blew through the circle. When Anna opened her eyes, she saw sparkling microscopic threads around her. Goody believed that these were the shapes of all the longitudes and latitudes of life in the universe. Law enforcers would choose their own paths. This was how magic weavers created new magic. All magicians had to find their element. The 3 witches Goody invited today were representatives of water and fire. They shared their elements with Anna. Today, Anna just had to choose the strongest thread. Anna started to touch the first thread and then the other threads. There were many threads in front of Anna. Each thread seemed to be calling to Anna. This made Anna confused about which thread to choose. It was not until Goody stopped Anna that Anna did not understand why she failed. She could not touch any thread. Goody did not know why, because this was the first time Goody had seen a case like Anna. Most witches were born with only one element and could only see the line representing that element. But Anna saw all the elements. Maybe Anna had all 4 elements, so Anna did not know which thread to touch. Matthew knew that William and the Queen knew about Matthew's relationship with Anna, so Matthew took the initiative to bring Anna to meet William. As expected, William was not happy with Matthew and Anna hiding their marriage. William also said that the Queen had questioned Matthew's loyalty. Tomorrow, the Queen would give Matthew a chance to explain. Matthew was sure that the Queen would try to force the two to separate. The next day, Matthew and Anna disguised themselves to meet the Queen. By cleverly answering the Queen's questions, Matthew and Anna seemed to have kept their marriage a secret. The crisis was resolved, but the seeds of suspicion had been sown. The Queen could no longer trust Matthew as before. The Queen, as the ruler of England, knew everything about Matthew and Anna. Even when Matthew and Anna went to see an astrologer, the Queen knew. But the Queen did not know what Matthew and Anna were doing with an astrologer. Matthew could only answer honestly and talk about Edward Kelly, which made the Queen begin to care, because it was said that Edward Kelly created the Sorcerer's Stone. Anna immediately understood that the Queen wanted immortality. Matthew was also a smart person. After hearing this reminder from Anna, Matthew immediately offered to capture Edward Kelly for the Queen. Matthew went to Bohemia to show his loyalty. The Queen was naturally very happy and said that if Matthew did it, the Queen would no longer pay attention to Matthew's previous mistakes. The next day, Anna started her second magic class. This time, with the help of Goody, Anna successfully touched the first thread. Then Anna tied the magic knot. Next was the second thread. When Anna touched the third thread, it was a little difficult, but Anna finally tied the third magic knot. But the next moment, an amazing scene happened. There was a powerful magic emanating from Anna's body. An autumn tree formed in the sky. It was not until Anna was exhausted that everything disappeared. This scene shocked all the witches present. Goody thought it was a combination of the conflict between time and space. This also proved that Anna was the one who truly understood the law. That night, Matthew's nephew Gallowclass came. Gallowclass brought a letter from Philip. In it, he ordered Matthew to bring Anna back to the Seven Tower Castle. This was definitely another challenge for Matthew and Anna. Matthew and Anna could only pack their bags and return to the Seven Tower Castle to meet Philip. Anna also took the time to say goodbye to Goody before leaving. Of course, Goody would object, but Anna had a reason to leave now. This journey would be very dangerous, so Matthew and Anna could not bring Jack along. Matthew and Anna gave Jack a gift. It was a pair of pendants with Matthew and Anna's faces on them. In England, the police have discovered a mysterious corpse. Immediately, Domenico and his police friend went to the scene to check. After looking at the body, Domenico realized that it was caused by a vampire. Domenico immediately went to see Gerbert to negotiate. Domenico found something that could force the Clermont dynasty to surrender. Because an uncontrolled vampire was killing people in Oxford, this had not happened for hundreds of years. There were rumors that the Clermont family's bloodline was tainted. The reward Domenico wanted this time was to return to Vienna NIS, where Domenico used to control. At Oxford University, there was a young man walking in a deserted alley. He suddenly felt as if a strange creature was following him. The guy started to panic, but his consciousness did not know what to do. He just looked around, and a mysterious creature moved. Suddenly, a figure appeared from the other side of the alley and knocked the young man down. He didn't even have a chance to scream before he died. When the police found the young man's body, Domenico also knew the news. At the same time, Marcus was interested in two paintings that were about to be auctioned, which were two works from the 16th century. The person who greeted him at the auction house was Taylor. Taylor had a good impression of Marcus. Before the auction, Taylor was willing to show Marcus the two paintings first. It turned out that they were the paintings that Anna gave to Jack in 1590. Of course, the group of people in the Seven Tower Castle also knew that these two paintings were about to be auctioned. Following Isabeau's orders, Marcus went to buy the two paintings at the auction. Marcus also got his wish. Marcus wanted to take the paintings back to the castle immediately, but Taylor insisted on following the correct procedures. Therefore, Marcus would have to wait until the next day at the earliest to take the two paintings. At the same time, Sophie and Nat tried to avoid being hunted by the Anglican Church. The couple is staying at Marcus's house. Marcus is currently the leader of the Lazarus Knights. Agata is also here to protect her son and daughter-in-law. With the protection of the Knights, everything seems to be under control. After Miriam checks the fetus in Sophie's womb, Miriam discovers an irregular heartbeat. For the safety of Sophie and her daughter, the plan has to be changed. She cannot give birth at home, but has to go to the hospital. In the evening, Domenico goes to the morgue to check the body. Of course, it is caused by a vampire. Domenico immediately informs Gerbert. Although vampire attacks on humans are common, no evidence has been found that is related to the Claymont family. Domenico can only confirm that all of this was done by a vampire with a bloodlust. Domenico then goes to the crime scene to look for clues. When Domenico went to the art auction house, Domenico accidentally encountered a vampire attack on humans. The next day, Marcus went to the art auction house to get the two paintings from yesterday, but Taylor said that the door of the auction house's warehouse was torn open. The two paintings were stolen. Strangely, no other auction items were stolen besides the two paintings, and the security guard on duty last night was also missing. Isabeau at the castle heard the news and immediately thought that Peter might have done it, but this was just speculation. At that moment, Gerbert called and asked to meet Isabeau tonight. All of this was a bad omen. The Seven Towers castle was probably being targeted. Even though the two paintings were stolen, this did not stop Marcus from pursuing Taylor. Marcus successfully invited Taylor to dinner. However, Domenico's appearance ruined the beautiful atmosphere. Of course, Domenico came here to meet Marcus. After confirming that the vampire attacking the human was not Marcus, Domenico revealed his purpose. It turns out that the security guard at the auction house was torn to pieces last night, so Domenico had to clean up the scene before the police found him. Now, Domenico confirms that Marcus knows nothing about this, including the recent frequent vampire murders. But Marcus's recent appearance at the auction house has piqued Domenico's interest. Although Domenico's recent appearance was a bit troublesome, it did not delay Marcus and Taylor's good deeds. After dinner, the two went to Marcus's house to do something inappropriate for children. At the same time, Isabeau was meeting Gerbert as promised. Gerbert had figured out how to deal with the Claymont family and forced Isabeau to submit. But Isabeau knew nothing about it. Even Gerbert could not do anything to Isabeau. Taylor couldn't sleep on this side and started walking around Marcus's house. First, Taylor found a bag of blood in the refrigerator. Then many old photos of Marcus. One of them was taken during the 1948 London Olympics. Taylor also saw Sophie walking towards her with a pregnant belly. Fortunately, Sophie explained about the baby in her belly. After the discovery, Taylor thought Marcus was hiding something from her, so Marcus was forced to tell Taylor the truth that he was a vampire. This made Taylor think that Marcus was lying. Finally, Taylor coldly left. The next day, Benjamin knocked on Marcus's door. Benjamin complained about why Marcus never answered the phone. Vampire attacks on humans were being posted all over the internet. But Marcus, the leader of the Lazarus Knights, was only in love. Benjamin advised Marcus to give him the position of knight. At a time when the Claymont family was in crisis, Benjamin believed that he was more suitable to be the leader of the group than Marcus. Marcus could still continue his relationship with his human girlfriend. Of course, Marcus did not agree to Benjamin's proposal, but Isabeau discovered that Marcus had revealed his true identity to the humans. Marcus needed to return to the Seven Tower Castle to explain this to Isabeau. At this time, Domenico discovered that the portraits of Matthew and Anna had been stolen. At the same time, Marcus returned to the Seven Tower Castle. Because Marcus revealed his true identity to the humans, Isabeau asked Marcus to kill Taylor to keep it a secret. But Marcus said that Taylor only thought Marcus was crazy, so Isabeau did not force Marcus to kill Taylor anymore. Marcus just had to take on the responsibility of the head of the Knights. Of course, Isabeau also talked about the Oxford vampire. Philip founded the order and the Knights to protect the survival of the race. Isabeau's family had a genetic disease, but Isabeau did not have severe bloodlust. However, Matthew was not lucky and suffered from the disease. Isabeau and Philip married for the second time. Before that, both had children. Matthew was the biological son of Isabeau, and Philip also had a biological son son named Benjamin. There was also a person who was Matthew's younger sister named Lisa. Matthew had a strong bloodlust. Marcus was a descendant of Matthew, so Marcus also had this side in his blood. After knowing this, Marcus was very shocked, because almost everyone knew about it, but Marcus did not. Even Gerbert knew about it, so Gerbert always wanted to take advantage of this to completely destroy the Calamon family. Going back in time to 1590, Matthew and Anna had arrived in France by boat, but they were still a few days away from the Seven-Tower Castle. The people sent by Philip had been waiting on the shore since early. On this side, Lick, who had just lost his love in London, had collapsed and turned to alcohol. When Lick walked out of the tavern, he saw a woman dressed as a prostitute hugging a man. Lick stepped forward to stop her, but the other party ignored him. Realizing that his advice was ineffective, Lick left. Unexpectedly, Lick had just taken a few steps when the woman called Lick's name. She turned out to be Matthew's younger sister, Lisa. Lisa was not dating the man just now, but was sucking blood. Lisa went to see Matthew, but Matthew was already in France. So Lick dragged Lisa back to the tavern, and the man whose blood Lisa had sucked was unknown whether he was alive or dead. When she learned that Matthew had found a witch to marry, Lisa's first reaction was the same as Lick's. Lisa also believed that Anna had bewitched Matthew. Lisa had a wild lifestyle, so she pounced on Lick, who had just been abandoned. At this time, Matthew and Anna finally arrived at the Seven-Tower Castle. After meeting his late father Philip, Matthew's mood was naturally very complicated, but Matthew controlled his emotions. Philip asked them to come here because Philip needed a reason why Matthew wanted to marry a witch. Anna had proven herself to be special. Anna was not an ordinary witch, but Philip still disagreed, because for an old vampire who had lived for at least 1,000 years, nothing was new to Philip. In the letter Harvard sent to Philip, Philip learned that Anna came from the future. Matthew seemed to have become a different person. Philip asked Anna and Matthew why they wanted to return to this era. Anna explained everything clearly to Philip, but everything was a bit complicated. But for an old vampire like Philip, Anna only needed to say it once, and Philip understood. But Philip still had a question about Anna and Matthew's relationship. Before Philip finished speaking, Matthew already knew what Philip wanted to ask, but Philip still raised the issue of why Matthew still hadn't found out who Anna really was. As a vampire, Philip could tell that Anna and Matthew had been together just by their body scent. Anna also discovered the problem when she heard this. Matthew was hiding something from Anna after all. Anna became angry and turned away. After a moment of hesitation, Matthew chased Anna and returned to his room. Matthew had not yet revealed that he was a bloodthirsty maniac. Anna used magic to chase Matthew out. Matthew could only seek justice from his talkative father. Philip did not accuse Matthew of finding a witch to marry, but he told Matthew that Matthew should not hide anything from Anna. Matthew knew Philip was right. Philip invited Matthew to go hunting with him the next day. At the same time, Philip asked Matthew if Philip was dead in the future. Seeing Matthew in tears, Philip immediately understood the situation. The next day, Anna was left alone. She had to face Philip herself. Philip treated Anna very well. To show respect to Anna, Philip also gave Anna the keys to all the rooms in the castle. But Anna was more interested in books than finances. A passing magician sensed the presence of powerful magic in the Seven-Tower Castle. His name was Champier. After Philip introduced Anna, Champier was eager to discover the secrets inside Anna. Soon, Champier saw a scene in Anna's memory. It was the scene where Anna fed Matthew's blood. This was considered a great sin, so Champier wanted to take away Anna's memories. But of course, Anna did not let Champier do that to her. While Anna was resisting, Philip just stood there quietly watching. Philip did not make any move to help Anna. At this moment, Matthew returned and heard Anna's screams. Seeing Matthew coming, Anna used magic to take the sword from Matthew's belt and stabbed Champier in the stomach. Just like that, Champier gradually collapsed to the floor. After confirming that Anna was okay, Matthew began to question Philip. Although Champier was not invited by Philip, when Anna was attacked, Philip just stood there and watched. Philip's answer was simple. He needed to check on Anna because Anna knew too many secrets of Philip's family, so Philip couldn't risk leaving Anna with Matthew. The combination of Matthew and Anna was destined to cause many deaths. Philip accidentally saw the ring on Anna's finger. The ring was given to Anna by Isabeau. It was also the wedding ring of Isabeau and Philip. This made Philip believe that he would die in the future. So Philip planned to write a letter to his wife Isabeau in future. But Philip didn't know what to write for a moment. Back in the present, Sarah and Emily seemed to sense something. What were Sarah and Emily looking for in Philip's previous study? Sarah sensed something on Philip's bookshelf. Isabeau also said that Philip liked to hide things in these books. In fact, in 1590, Philip didn't leave a single word on paper because Philip really didn't know what to write. Philip even threw away his pen in anger. The next day, Philip saw Matthew packing his things and about to leave. Matthew was going to Bohemia to find the book. There were many things in the future that Philip could not understand. Why did the future Isabeau leave the ring to a witch? There were many questions that Philip wanted to know the answers to, but Matthew would not easily tell Philip. If Matthew could tell, Matthew would have told him. Philip thought of a way that is he beat Matthew until Matthew told him everything. At this time, Anna was in the castle and did not know what was happening outside. Anna went to Philip's study. A map piqued Anna's interest. A maid passed by. The maid said that this was a map showing the location of the witch's cave. So after the maid left, Anna used her magic to change the location of the contract on the map. At this time, the war between Matthew and Philip continued. Matthew is no match for Philip. When a knife was put to his neck and he was forced to tell everything, Matthew still refused to say a word because Matthew did not want to disturb history and cause a butterfly effect. Finally, Anna arrived in time to end the fight between father and son. But Anna also saw what Matthew looked like when Matthew was angry. Anna also understood why Matthew kept this from her. Anna said that she would not abandon Matthew because of that bloodthirsty rage. But Matthew said that anger was just the tip of the iceberg. Matthew was really like a murder tool for Philip. At this point, Anna could not bear it anymore. Anna went to Philip to demand justice for Matthew, but Philip said everything was a test. It was all for the benefit of their vampire clan. At this moment, Philip saw Anna's whole body shining. Philip was stunned and immediately realized that Anna was the legendary witch. The witch was so powerful that she could change the fate of all creatures. Just like that, Philip promised not to ask about the future anymore, and also blessed Anna to become his blood daughter. Philip's actions touched Matthew and gave Matthew the courage to face the past that he did not want to remember. Next to the fireplace, Matthew told Anna the reason Philip died. During World War II, to rescue Allied spies, Philip was captured and imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp. The Nazis had never captured a vampire before, so Philip aroused their interest. From that time on, Philip was tortured and studied for 3 consecutive months. With the help of Benjamin and Matthew, Philip was rescued, but Philip's spirit had completely collapsed. Philip begged his wife, Isabeau, to end his suffering. Matthew did not want to hurt his mother, so Matthew himself took action. When Philip took Matthew and Anna through a forest, Philip took advantage of Matthew's absence and asked Anna how Isabeau lived in the future. Anna wondered why Philip didn't ask Matthew, but Anna also told Philip that Isabeau is doing well in the future. Then Philip took the two to a temple. Matthew and Anna would get married in 2 days. Everyone in the Climont family had to complete this ritual here before getting married. When Matthew and Anna's ceremony was completed, a gust of wind appeared. Then a white deer appeared in front of everyone. It seemed that the goddess had given Matthew and Anna gifts. At the same time, Matthew and Anna also received blessings from God. Just like that, Matthew and Anna were really married. This was also the moment Philip said goodbye to Matthew and Anna. Philip said that no matter what happened in the future between them, Philip would forgive Matthew. At that moment, Matthew let go of his many years of guilt towards Philip. Back in the room, Philip finally knew what to write to his wife hundreds of years later. Philip was no longer afraid of fate because fate always brought surprises, and Philip was ready to accept those surprises. Following the footsteps of the goddess, Matthew and Anna will also go to Bohemia to find the Book of Life. Philip's fate has been foretold, but Philip knows that in the future, Isabeau will always remember Philip. Not wanting to affect history, Philip cannot tell Isabeau what happened in the past few days in 1590, but Philip can give Isabeau the good news about their son's marriage. At this time, Matthew and Anna arrived in Bohemia in 1591. Emperor Zudo did not like to fight with English diplomats, not to mention that Matthew was known as the shadow of Queen Elizabeth. Zudo knew that Matthew was a vampire. Matthew said that he went to see Edward Kelly on behalf of the Queen. Edward Kelly stole the book Asmal 782 from the astrologer, but Zudo tried every way to delay and refused to reveal Edward Kelly's location. Zudo even stated that Matthew being able to enter this territory was the highest priority. Seeing this, Anna stood up to ease the awkward atmosphere between the two sides. Anna expressed her desire to communicate with the most respected alchemist in England. When Rudo learned that Anna knew alchemy, he was especially interested. Before Matthew and Anna went to Bohemia, his nephew Galolus had already arrived. Anna was even more surprised to learn that Jack was also here. It turned out that after Matthew and Anna left, Jack had nightmares every night. Franca had no choice but to bring Jack here to meet the two. At this time, Zudo specially sent an expensive gift to Anna. At a glance, it could be seen that this was the work of a famous artist. Matthew thought that Zudo was targeting him, so Matthew wanted Anna to have less contact with Zudo. But Anna thought that if she wanted to find Edward Kelly, she had to find clues from Zudo. Zudo gave Anna a gift. In fact, it was an invitation to Anna to the castle, and Anna would also have to return a gift. Anna planned to give Zudo the book she received from the Queen's astrologer. Although Matthew was reluctant, he still agreed. The next day, Anna and Galolus went to Zudo's castle. As soon as they entered the castle, Anna found that there were many people who wanted to give gifts to King Zudo. People lined up along the stairs. Galolus realized that if they waited like this until midnight, they wouldn't be able to meet Zudo. So Galolus thought of a way to help Anna quickly meet Zudo. Not long after Galolus left, a vampire named Beiji came to greet Anna. At this time, Galolus actually asked Zudo to meet Anna first, but Galolus did it with lies, which made Zudo a little angry. Fortunately, Anna was very smart, so she solved this problem easily. Matthew was not idle either. Matthew and Pi were looking through Zudo's guest file. Although he did not find the name Edward Kelly, Matthew discovered that the man named Tanbos was probably the Edward Kelly that Matthew was looking for. Incidentally, the records state that the next time Tanbos and Zudo met was outside the castle. According to the time recorded in the records, Matthew and Pi did indeed meet Edward Kelly, but it seems that Edward Kelly had a mental problem. Edward Kelly actually said that there was a book that kept shouting at him. The two guards who were guarding Edward Kelly immediately brought Edward Kelly back to the castle. In the castle, Zudo introduced Anna to a master, the priest Rabbi. Rabbi was very knowledgeable about ancient texts. Zudo always asked Rabbi to help interpret difficult books. Soon, everyone went to the treasure room. While the others were admiring Zudo's collection, Galolis was researching structural anti-theft measures to hide gems. Since Rabbi was one of the most respected scholars in history, Anna had long admired Rabbi. Zudo asked Rabbi to decipher the books, so it was very possible that the priest Rabbi had also seen the Asmol manuscript, 782. The next day, Anna and Matthew went to see Rabbi. It turned out that Rabbi had seen the Asmol manuscript 782. It was just that Rabbi could not understand it. But in order not to anger Zudo, Rabbi pretended that Rabbi could understand the book. When Matthew and Anna returned to their residence, they received an invitation from Zudo. But Zudo only invited Anna to go hunting without Matthew. At this time, Galolis came up with a plan. While hunting with Zudo, Galolis would sneak into the treasure room to steal the Asmol manuscript 782. The next day at the hunting ground, Matthew's uninvited presence made Zudo a little unhappy, but Matthew was already there, so Zudo could not chase Matthew away. At the same time, Galolis entered the treasure room but could not find the Asmol manuscript 782. Galolis found it in Zudo's collection. Not only expensive works of art, but also many samples of organs of non-human creatures. On the hunting ground, Matthew deliberately killed Zudo's favorite falcon to take revenge on Zudo. Of course, Zudo was very angry and cursed Matthew. Zudo asked Matthew and Anna to leave immediately. Returning, Galolis took out a collection he had brought back from Zudo's treasure room. There was a hand of a witch. Matthew knew very well what kind of person Zudo was. Matthew asked Galolis to prepare everything and leave immediately. At the same time, Anna was warned not to contact Zudo again. Matthew did not allow the same thing to happen to Anna, but Anna did not think so, because Anna had to get the book. Even when Matthew's anger flared up, Anna had to convince Matthew to stay and find the book. When Matthew and Anna's argument ended, Galolis also brought news. Zudo apologized to Anna and Matthew. Zudo also invited Anna and Matthew to visit the treasure room. This time Matthew did not stop Anna, but he told Galolis to be ready to escape at any time. Zudo held a party in his treasure room and invited many nobles to visit the collection. At the party, Anna asked Zudo directly about the Asmol 782 manuscript. Zudo did not understand that thing. Even if Zudo had the book, why should he show it to Anna? At this time, Anna turned the yellow decoration of the wineglass in Zudo's hand into a living snake. This shocked Zudo at Anna's ability. Zudo immediately said that she could see anything she wanted. So Zudo took Anna to the cell where Edward Kelly was imprisoned. At the same time, Anna also saw the Asmol 782 manuscript. Under Anna's control, Asmol 782 opened automatically. The book Asmol 782 began to show everyone what was recorded, but Edward Kelly just held his head because the book kept screaming in Edward Kelly's head. At this time, no one paid attention to Edward Kelly anymore. Everyone was attracted by the scene created by the book. After Zudo saw this scene, he told Matthew that Matthew could take Edward Kelly away. Zudo didn't need Edward Kelly anymore because Zudo now had something more valuable. As soon as Zudo finished speaking, the soldiers rushed to restrain Anna. Of course, Matthew and Galolis refused Zudo's offer. The fight began. What no one noticed was that Edward Kelly had taken back the book of Asmol 782. To stop the book from screaming in Edward Kelly's head, he began to tear the pages of the book. When Edward Kelly tore 3 pages, Anna stopped him in time. In the chaos, Anna's group escaped with the book of Asmol 782. When Matthew received the book, he discovered that it was made from the skin of a witch, a daemon, and a vampire. The ink is made from vampire blood. The pages are tied with vampire hair. Matthew thinks that's why this book is called the Book of the Dead. But the important thing now is to escape from here. At the same time, in Edward Kelly's cell, Benjamin suddenly appeared, scaring Edward Kelly. Back in the present day, in a museum in Bohemia, the guide was explaining Zudo's collection. When talking about the notes left by Edward Kelly, the guide mentioned that there was a mysterious screaming book, and Peter was also in this group of tourists. After returning, Peter talked to Gerbert about Edward Kelly's diary that appeared in Bohemia in 1591. Edward Kelly tore out 3 pages of the book, Asmol 782. This also explains why the book Asmol 782 could never be summoned. Marcus was still upset that Matthew had not told him about the bloodthirsty rage inside Marcus. Even with Miriam's persuasion, Marcus's mind was still in turmoil. Marcus even felt depressed. Marcus then went to the art auction house to prove his feelings for Taylor. Marcus also gave Taylor the Lazarus Knight's badge so that Taylor could find information about the badge. Marcus hoped that Taylor would believe everything he said. Back home, Marcus talked to Nat about his helplessness. At this moment, Sophie suddenly ran downstairs and said it was time to give birth. Although a few weeks earlier than expected, Sophie and the baby were safe. Miriam could hear the buzzing sound in the baby's blood. Little Mac Garrett was really a witch. In fact, Taylor still did not believe Marcus and threw the badge on the desk until Taylor saw the badge again after work. That was when Taylor decided to find someone to identify the badge. badge. Through online information, Taylor began to believe that Marcus really did have vampires in this world. This reminded Taylor of the iron door of the cellar being torn open. When Taylor went to check, Domenico suddenly appeared behind her. Domenico asked Taylor about the theft. This question made Taylor believe that Domenico was a policeman. But when Domenico asked what Marcus had said to Taylor recently, Taylor immediately realized that the person in front of was not a policeman. Fortunately, the expert helped Taylor out of this situation. The expert had the answer to the identification of the Lazarus Knight's badge. This badge dates back to the 12th century, or even earlier. Domenico saw the badge and knew that Marcus had given it to Taylor. Domenico just smiled meaningfully and walked away. The next morning, Taylor took the initiative to look for Marcus. When Taylor knew that Marcus was born in 1757, Taylor became like a curious child. Marcus also answered all of Taylor's questions honestly. Of course, besides asking questions, Marcus and Taylor also did what adults like to do. Marcus did not have as many hesitations as Matthew. Taylor was also curious about the vampire race. After asking the usual questions about vampires, Taylor wanted Marcus to practice it. Taylor told Marcus to go to the supermarket 2 blocks away and buy her an ice cream. Taylor was surprised because it only took Marcus 56 seconds. Of course, Taylor and Marcus also talked about the Lazarus Knights. When Taylor heard that Marcus wanted to give up the Knights, Taylor clearly did not understand. The reason was because Marcus did not agree with the political views between the species. Marcus opposed some of the covenants made by the Anglican Church. Taylor was curious, so why did Marcus not use the Knights insignia to change all of this? Through that, Marcus could make a difference for all races. After making the decision, Marcus informed Benjamin. Of course, Benjamin was very angry because the Knights were originally established to protect the interests of the Clermont family, but Marcus wanted to turn it into a charity. Not only that, Marcus also wanted Benjamin to help because Marcus believed that the first duty of the Knights was to protect the family. Marcus also told Benjamin that Sophie's family had given birth to a witch. Of course, Benjamin would object to Marcus doing this. Because the vampire problem had not been solved yet, there was no time to care about other races. But as the leader of the Knights, Marcus ordered Benjamin. But Marcus was not Matthew, so Benjamin found it difficult to accept. In this way, Marcus not only did not receive Benjamin's support, but also made Benjamin angry. Marcus attended the Anglican Church, which aroused Gerbert's interest. Gerbert went directly to Benjamin to find an answer. Benjamin did not hide it and told the truth about Sophie's family. Benjamin's position in the congregation was threatened. Even Benjamin's life was in danger. So now Benjamin only cared about the interests of the Clermont family. Benjamin did not care about anything else. Of course, Peter knew that too. Peter went to the hospital to confirm whether Sophie's child was really a witch or not. If it was true, Peter would definitely take the child away. After defeating Sophie and her husband, Peter began to examine Mac Garrett. Just then, Agata returned and happened to see this scene. Both were representatives of the congregation. Agata knew Peter's cruelty, so she knew Peter's intentions when she was here. Of course, Peter was not afraid of Agata. Peter also told Agata to cherish the time she spent with her family. Mac Garrett was a witch, so she had to be raised by her own tribe. Peter did not take Mac Garrett away right away, but sooner or later the wizards would come to find Mac Garrett. London 1591. Anna is still trying to decipher the book, but is making no progress. Anna even begins to suspect that she may never decipher it. It is also possible that Anna and Matthew will stay in this era forever. Matthew says that they do not belong in this era and that they have been here too long, so Anna needs to learn magic as soon as possible. Since he cannot bring Edward Kelly back, Matthew needs to see the Queen today. Before meeting the Queen, Matthew sent Anna to Goody's place. After Anna left, Goody's health was not good anymore. Susanna was worried that Goody would not survive the winter. The situation of the wizards was also precarious. Witch hunts were going on all over Scotland. The persecution of witches would soon spread like wildfire across England. Matthew said that he would try to do something to ease the Queen's worries about the witches. At this time, Goody unexpectedly discovered that Anna was pregnant. Because of this, Anna and Matthew had to return to their time as soon as possible. Speaking of leaving, Anna and Matthew thought about what to do with Jack. Of course, sending Jack to the modern era was impossible. Anna and Matthew could only try their best to arrange Jack's future life. While Matthew went to see the Queen, Anna also studied magic harder. Anna had mastered 3 knots before, but there were a total of 10 magic knots, so Anna still needed to practice more. This time, Anna's magic became stronger. Goody could feel that Anna was full of powerful energy. Anna had passed the first test with flying colors. She completed 15 knots one by one with ease. When the 7th magic knot was completed, a wonderful scene appeared again. In addition to a forest appearing in front of her, a magical beast emerged from Anna's body. A witch nearby exclaimed that it was a fire phoenix. The language the beast could understand was that it called itself Cora. Cora only stayed out for a short time and then returned to Anna's body. Goody told Anna that when Anna needed it, the beast would appear. Matthew was meeting the Queen. The Queen had recently had a toothache, so she wasn't in a good mood from the start. Seeing Matthew again, the Queen's mood became even worse. The Queen already knew the outcome of Matthew's mission in Bohemia. Matthew's real intention in going to Bohemia was to get a book instead of following the Queen's orders to bring Edward Kelly back. Moreover, the Queen queen wanted the sorcerer's stone to seek immortality instead of a book that was useless to the queen. Matthew did his own work under the cover of the queen. This was considered a betrayal. In anger, the queen asked Matthew to hand over the book to the messenger sent by Zudo. The queen also ordered William to go to Matthew's house to get all the books back here. If the Asmal 782's book is found in it, the queen will execute Matthew and Anna. Very quickly, all the written objects in Matthew's house were quickly confiscated. William even found the book that Anna had hidden under the floor. When William left, he encountered Galolus. Galolus wanted to stop William from taking Matthew's things, but Pi on the side asked Galolus to get out of the way. Since William was representing the queen, Galolus knew that Pi was right, so he could only obey. At this time, Anna had just finished her magic class and returned. Lick suddenly appeared to stop Anna. Because Matthew was in trouble with the queen, Anna went to Galolus to find a way to rescue Matthew. Although Anna did not believe what Lick said, she was worried about Matthew's safety, so she could only leave with Lick. At the same time, Matthew decided to tell the queen everything. Only in this way would the queen believe what Matthew said. Matthew bit his finger, causing blood to flow. Then Matthew brought it closer to the queen. Under Matthew's firm gaze, the queen let go of her hand and let Matthew press a drop of blood on her aching tooth. When Matthew's blood entered the queen's mouth, the queen felt a miracle. Matthew's blood really made the queen immortal. It turned out that the method of immortality had always been with the queen. 3 years ago, England had just won the Brazil match against Spain. There was resistance from the witches, which made the queen worried. If the queen died, England would be in danger. But Matthew told the queen that nothing the queen was worried about would happen in the future, because Matthew and Anna had traveled through time to come here. Although what Matthew said was a bit unbelievable, the queen believed what Matthew said was true and forgave Matthew. Matthew also did not hesitate to tell the queen what the future would be like and how the queen was admired by history. As soon as Matthew returned, he ran upstairs to find the Asmal Marcus book, but the book was gone. Jack knew what Matthew was looking for, so Jack took out the Asmal Marcus book that Jack had hidden under the bed. It turned out that when Galolus stopped William, Jack took the opportunity to get the book back. At this time, Galolus returned to report that Anna was in danger. It turned out that Lick had taken Anna into a cave. Matthew's younger sister Lisa was also there. Lisa and Lick worked together to trick Anna into going to the cave. Lisa believed that Anna had bewitched Matthew. Although Lisa confirmed that Anna had been recognized by Philip as a family member, Lisa stubbornly believed that Anna had bewitched Philip. While Lick was aiming at Anna, Anna convinced him, but Lisa on the side was unwilling to let Anna go so easily, so Lisa attacked Lick. Then Lisa picked up the gun on the ground and shot Anna, but missed. Just as Lisa was ready to fire the second shot, Cora appeared. It was a phoenix of fire emitted from Anna's power. Although Lisa fired a second shot, it did not hurt Anna. This time Anna was angry. Anna wanted to eliminate both Lisa and Lick. Just as Anna was about to act, Matthew's group arrived. Since Harvard was also here, Lisa and Lick were spared, but Matthew was angry and immediately flew into a rage. Matthew almost killed Lisa and Lick. Fortunately, Anna stopped Matthew at the crucial moment. Anna's magic training had improved significantly. Now Anna could complete 8 knots easily. When the 9th magic knot was completed, it was time for Anna and Matthew to leave this era. Although the training would be more difficult to complete later, Anna was not worried about that. Goody said that another magic weaver had come to London. Goody had predicted the appearance of this magic weaver. It seems that the appearance of this magic weaver is not a coincidence. While shopping, Matthew smelled coffee, but there would be no coffee in London in 1591. Europeans would have to wait decades to drink coffee. Matthew immediately realized that only time travelers could have this drink. With the vampire's super sense of smell, Matthew quickly found the man, but the person Matthew found turned out to be Anna's father, Stephen. Anna had not seen her father for more than 20 years. The last time Stephen saw Anna was 2 days ago. Stephen was not surprised to see Anna and Matthew together. Anna's mother had fantasized about Anna being with a vampire when Anna was very young. Stephen also told Anna the reason why he came here. It was to get the Asmal 782 book. Coincidentally, this book was currently in Anna's hands, but now the book was missing 3 pages. This made it impossible for Anna to read the information on it. Steve can't do anything, but the paper used in this book is made from the skin of 3 creatures. Matthew thinks that the DNA inside may contain many answers. This is why Matthew wants to return to 2021 as soon as possible. But then Stephen says that Matthew and Anna have been in this era for too long. Let's return to the modern era as soon as possible. Matthew and Anna can't take the book because it's impossible to travel through time and space with powerful items that Matthew and Anna don't understand. Back in 2021, Marcus and Taylor are at a party. Vampire mages and human demons are all gathered at the castle. For the first time in 1,000 years, 4 different races are sitting together for dinner. They talk about Anna and Matthew's combination of witches and vampires. They also talk about Sophie's daughter Mac Garrett being a witch born into a human family. All of these are violations of the covenant of the order. For the safety of their family and friends, they want to cancel this agreement. After dinner, Taylor was fascinated by the furniture and the collection. Taylor broke into Philip's study without permission. transaction. Isabu was not angry, but patiently explained the origin of each piece of furniture. It seemed that Isabu had accepted Taylor as her granddaughter-in-law. At the same time, Peter and Gerbert discussed the clues about the Asmal manuscript 782. Peter and Gerbert were still looking for the 3 missing pages in the book. Gerbert thought that Isabu might have 1 page. Peter had no doubt that Emily's Sarah might also have 1 page. Knowing that Sarah was hiding in the 7-tower castle, Peter and Gerbert believed that the 2 missing pages in the book were also in the 7-tower castle. So Peter decided to break into the 7-tower castle. At this time, Satu returned. Satu saw Peter planning to lure Sarah and Emily out of the castle. On the map, Peter found the remains of a temple. Peter thought he could use the power of this place to complete his plan, and Satu also offered to help Peter enter the castle. But Peter was not interested in Satu's ability, so he refused. London 1951. Anna brought Stephen to see Goody, because Stephen was the 3rd magic weaver that Goody had mentioned. Anna had also completed the 9th magic knot. Stephen was amazed at his daughter's magical ability. Stephen said that many magicians would die to have this ability. This made Anna think that this was the reason her parents would be killed by other magicians. Goody on the side also knew why Anna was upset. Goody persuaded Anna to tell everything and not hide it from Stephen anymore. Of course, Anna wanted to tell Stephen everything, but Anna couldn't say it for fear of disturbing history and the unpredictable disasters it would bring. Stephen knew what Anna was worried about. Stephen said that his and his wife's fate was decided and nothing could stop it. Although Stephen did not know what would happen next, Stephen knew that Anna did not have much time left. Stephen advised Anna to be more open-minded and not to be sad about her parents' departure. This was just a part of the long river of time. In the end, Anna did not say anything to Stephen. What made Anna sadder was that it was time for Stephen to leave. This was the last time the two met. Anna is about to leave, but Jack is the person Anna can't let go of in this era. So she met Harvard and entrusted Jack to Harvard. Because of this, Anna gave Harvard a drop of blood so that Harvard could protect the people that Harvard wanted to protect. Anna also returned the statue of the goddess of hunting that Sophie had given to Susanna. The statue of the goddess of hunting was the item that helped future Anna come to this era. Of course, Anna still had a magic knot to complete. The 10th knot was creation and destruction. Even Goody could not do it. So Goody can't teach Anna either, but Goody believes that perhaps only those who know the magic of standing between the two worlds can complete the 10th knot. Tonight, Anna will lose her magic when she sends Matthew back to 2021. Before leaving, Anna asked Galolas to return the Asmal 782 manuscript to the Queen's astrologer because that's the only way the book will return to Anna in the future. Then it's time to say goodbye. Even though you don't want to leave, there will always be times like this when you has to part. On the streets of London in 1591, Beiji suddenly appears behind Harvard. Beiji wants Harvard to tell him about Anna. Anna is now Harvard's family, so of course Harvard refuses to tell everything. But Beiji says that he is the one who created Harvard, so Harvard must do Beiji's bidding. At Matthew's house in 2021, a hooded man sneaks in. There was also another person in the room, Domenico. Domenico was searching for the vampire who had been killing people all over Oxford, but Domenico had never known who the vampire was. But Domenico knew that the vampire was always on a rampage, a disease that only the Claymont family had. The murderous vampire had stolen the portrait of Matthew and Anna. When Domenico asked who the vampire was, he only replied that the attack had just begun. Everything happened very quickly. By the time Domenico recovered, the murderous vampire had long since escaped. As a result, Domenico still did not know who the murderous vampire was. When Domenico returned, Benjamin's figure appeared, watching Domenico in the dark. At night, Peter went to the ruins of the temple near the 7th castle. This was also the location of the temple where Philip and Isabeau held their wedding. Peter immediately took out his usual magical weapon. The corpse charm was used to attract the people involved here. When Peter woke them up from their sleep, Emily in the 7-tower castle immediately woke up from her deep sleep. At this time, the little witch MacGarrett seemed to sense something. MacGarrett's cry woke everyone in the castle. Sarah also discovered that Emily was missing. At this time, Emily used a summoning charm in the temple ruins to summon the spirit of Anna's mother, Rebecca. Next to her was a page of the Asmal manuscript 782, and in the forest not far away, Peter was secretly watching everything. Peter was also very happy to meet Rebecca. Rebecca was the woman Peter liked. Peter slowly approached Emily, causing Emily to panic. Realizing that there was someone behind her, Emily immediately used magic to hide the page. Seeing that, Peter used black magic to control Emily, but Emily did not hand over the book until she died. At the same time, everyone was looking for Emily, but still could not find Emily. Sarah speculated that Emily might have gone out because Emily had recently been trying to summon Rebecca's ghost to ask about the secret of that teleportation technique. At this time, Isabeau also sensed that there was a powerful creature nearby. Marcus quickly found Peter running away, but Marcus was no match for Peter. But because Marcus was the current leader of the Lazarus Knights, Peter did not dare to kill Marcus so easily. On this side, Sarah went to the temple and found Emily no longer breathing. London 1591. Matthew closed the door and prepared to return to the future with Anna. Sarah was still holding Emily and crying in the 7-tower castle. Agata was holding her niece Mac Garrett. Marcus was still unconscious in the forest. Isabu was holding the Lazarus Knight's badge. This is the end of Season 2 of The Witch Code. Let's wait for the next part as soon as possible.